Morning, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Obviously, a little bit of a somber day here. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live. Today is Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Obviously, guys, we have a pretty tough market on our hands. We had a major invasion of the Ukraine last night. So all of those fears that have been culminating have kind of come to fruition. Obviously, this is a tragedy for the people of Ukraine, a very sad day. And I'm not going to be downplaying the significance of that, right? At some point, there are things that are bigger than the market. However, what I am here to do is to discuss the ramifications that it's going to have upon our market and how things are going to be affected, okay? So I just want to say that before we get started, my thoughts and prayers are with the people of Ukraine, and I don't want to downplay the seriousness of this situation, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we have had a major gap down in the markets overnight. Now, I want to kind of give a little bit of a different format to the pre-market live today. I want to talk about how this is going to affect the markets and what you can kind of expect, okay? So this is going to be very similar to the first couple days of the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of the market reaction. We are seeing a market that is down almost 3% in pre-market alone. I talked about this a little bit earlier on the private Twitter, but there is something called a circuit breaker, right, which prevents markets from dropping more than 7 to 10% in a single day. Okay, if you were around during COVID, you witnessed this. Okay, this is where the large cap ETFs like SPY, QQQ, etc., have things in place to prevent a situation like we are seeing in Russia right now, where their MOEX, which is their version of SPY or QQQ, is down 39% today. $150 billion wiped. Obviously, markets are different in every country, but it is important to remember that is why something like that is in place. And there's a very realistic chance that we could experience a limit down today. If that happens, just be prepared for it. Keep that in mind when trading, especially if you're trading SPY or QQQ options. I will probably let the indices sit for a little bit. I'm not too focused on that off open. A lot of liquidity is going to come into small caps. When markets have extreme turmoil like this, you see small caps that have a theme start to really get a lot of volume and liquidity. This morning, what we are seeing is oil stocks up crazy, right? Small cap oil stocks, CEI, etc., right, are all up 30, 50% this morning. Okay, so keep in mind that there will be opportunities if you are looking to trade the volatility in the small caps. There's going to be a lot of liquidity that comes in. When SPY and QQQ go down like this, you're going to see kind of a similar occurrence to what we saw with the biotech and mask plays when COVID happened, right? A lot of those small cap companies really start to run hard. It creates a lot of opportunities in the market. From a strictly financial standpoint, this will create a lot of opportunities in the market. Big events like this usually bring in massive dips, which creates a lot of opportunity places, right? And this brings people into the market, very similar to how the COVID-19 pandemic did. Now, that is just a rough idea of what to expect. You're going to see things like gold, GLD, have a big move today, right? It's already up 3% in pre-market. It is approaching huge highs here in the 180s, right? If we look at the monthly chart on gold, huge resistance at this 195 to 186 area. It is currently trading at 183 in pre-market. Important to watch this today. If we see a move over 186, this thing can really go. I'll be watching gold today. If you are going to trade options today, I would highly recommend trading the next week expiration, either side, whatever side you're on. If you're trading same days or this week's expiration, you are probably taking a serious amount of risk that may not be what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm probably, if I do take some trades today, it'll be on next week expiration, right? Now, again, things like gold, you'll probably see the defense sector names experience a big move up, LMT, and then oil stocks will be the other one you see make a big move, right? If oil squeezes hard, obviously XOM up 2% pre-market, Occidental, OXY up 3% pre-market, and then like I mentioned, a lot of these small cap oil names, CEI, other names like that are up huge. So just keep that in mind that we'll see a lot of that come in. Right. So initial 7% drop as we halt, I believe, for 15 minutes. And then at 10%, it'll be limit down for the day, right? IV is going to be insane today. Also keep that in mind. This is like peak volatility. So the IV on options will be absolutely nuts today, okay? So that means that you'll need a humongous move to get a big gain on the options. The first thing I want to talk about is our Apple puts that we took overnight. I'm not trying to glorify this or celebrate it. However, this will be a life-changing trade for many that took it. I know a lot of people did. These Apple 150 puts, I imagine with the IV increase, will likely be a 10x off open at least. So I will only have one call position open, and that's coin. I doubt they'll be worth anything. I'm willing to take the loss there. However, Apple will be worth a lot more than it was worth at close yesterday. We touched lows of 152 on Apple this morning. If we look at the daily chart on Apple, and this is going to be the technical side of the pre-market live, right? But let's look at the daily chart of Apple, and we do not have a lot of support on Apple. That's one thing that leads me to think that we may experience a halt down today, right? Is if I want to clear these levels for you guys quickly and kind of illustrate what I am talking about, right? So let's look at the daily on Apple. We do not have a lot of support on Apple, right? We've already broken this 154 support. We are trying to retest that level currently. That is a major level from our January low. If we continue below 154, guys, I really do think Apple will see this 146 level come into play. 150 would be the next stop. This would be our prior resistance from July of 2021. I would think we may turn that into support today in this 150 area. If we do not, then 146 will come rather quickly, and there is a pretty big abyss down to 138, which is where we should see major support come into play, right? This 146 level will offer a decent amount of support as well, as that was our highs from January of 2021, okay? Now, looking at a broader perspective, right, QQQ is also down big. I am planning to close my 150 puts about 60 to 70% of the position I have currently left over today. The reason I'm planning to do that is I'd like to just take that win off of open. Again, it'll probably, like I said, be about a 10x on whatever you had in. I'm not sure if it'll be exactly that. I have a like 9 average on those, like 8.5 average, whatever. I would imagine they'd be close to $1 off of the open. I don't want to guesstimate too much, but I think they will be in that range. Now, here's where I would look at, right, for a better sense of direction is going to be QQQ. This is going to be the tech index. This is a little bit scary as well when you start to look at this chart. Now, this isn't going to give you, obviously extended hours isn't going to show on Webull, but currently we're in this area of 320. We've broken that 325 support, so we are now going to likely, in my opinion, test this 316 level. We may see a bounce at that 316 level. Things are pretty oversold as we speak. Obviously, you can see the gap that we created last night, right? Overnight gap down. We are finding some support in this 316 to 317 area. Pre-market low is 317.73. So off of open, I don't want to plan on playing a bounce. I just want to let the market kind of work itself out for the first 10 to 15 minutes. I think we're going to see a lot of volume. And personally, I don't want to take on extra risk on a day like today. So my plan is to close my Apple puts off of open and then kind of reevaluate and reassess things, right? So again, on QQQ, if we do not find support at 315, which is entirely possible today, then, I do think that we have a pretty solid chance of seeing this 300 level support come into play. I don't know if that will happen today. I'm just saying if it does, I would be prepared for that to possibly happen, right? So if we saw a 10% move down in QQQ from yesterday's close, right, we would be looking at a move down to that like kind of 300 level, just about, right? So if 330 closed yesterday, roughly, we'd be looking at a move to 300 today. I don't know if we're going to see a 10% move in QQQ today. I highly kind of doubt it, but I think we will see possibly a bigger move than 3%, right? So just keep that in mind on QQQ. 315 level would definitely need to hold. If we do not hold that 315 level, then we could definitely see 300 in my opinion. I doubt I'll trade the 1K challenge today. I will be trading my main account. Now on SPY, I want to go over SPY as well. Again, we are in a pretty precarious area on the S&P 500, okay? The next major support that I see is 403. We are currently trading at 411.68 in pre-market. If we see a move down to 403, I can only imagine you'll see a good amount of buyers come in at that level. That would be where I would look for a bounce. Again, a 7% move. 396 would be the first halt down on SPY, right? So the first circuit breaker would be at this 396 level. I don't know if we'll get there, but we may see a move down to 400. Again, I'm probably not going to be scalping same week options this week just because of the added volatility and headline risk. There is more headline risk than ever today. So what I would recommend is definitely not playing same week options. If I were you, that's what I'm going to be doing, is playing next week more than likely, and really taking it slow and allowing this to be a learning experience if you haven't been here before. I will do my best to provide as much insight and commentary as I can. I will try to get on a midday live and obviously provide commentary as we go throughout the day on the private Twitter and Discord. Really today, guys, is, like I said, it's a somber day for the market for the world as a whole. But from a market standpoint, there is obviously going to be opportunity today, and I'm still going to try to do my job, which is this, right? This is what I do for a living. This is how I, support myself. So I'm gonna work today, but obviously it will be with a little bit of a heavy heart, and it's definitely really sad to see what's going on in the Ukraine currently. The 1K account is at 1,400 as of right now. If today, I'm factoring in coin going down. It was at 1,600 yesterday. I know coin's probably going to be close to worthless. So we'll be at 1,400 on the 1K challenge. 1,480. I don't know how low QQQ can go in the next 90 days, guys. But what I do know is that today, like I said, where I'm going to be looking for a bounce will be at this 316 level, which is where we are at open. I'm not going to look to initially trade that bounce directly off of open. I want to let things settle during the first 10 to 15 minutes and then go from there, right? It's not a day to be guessing and really, trying to predict and be you're not trying to tell the future here, right? That's our goal, is to react to things that happen. I use the That's So Raven analogy all the time, but again, today is a day to be patient, wait for that A+ setup. If you choose to do so, I know a lot of people aren't trading today, but again, my plan off open is to close the rest of my Apple and Nikola puts. Apple just seeing a major move down as we speak, now pressing 151. These puts will be well over 1,000% off of the open. So Apple seeing a major move down as we speak, as we head into open. 3 minutes till open now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for market open. Again, I'm planning to close 70% or more of my Apple puts off of the open, and then we'll kind of gauge that last 30% and let those ride. I will see you guys likely on a midday live. I'll hop on, especially if we experience any type of circuit breaker down. I'll be on a midday live with you guys, and then I will try to keep you guys as informed as possible throughout the day. All right, guys. I love you. appreciate where you're at, appreciate the situation you're in, and that you don't have, airstrikes going on outside your house, right? But again, there is opportunity today, and our goal is to take advantage of that and just be as prepared as possible. So I will see you guys on the live later today, and I will see you guys on Twitter and Discord as well. Take it easy, guys.